Hello, how are you? This is Story by Geoffrey. Uh sorry again. We went for a break and I don't want to promise anything, but here I am today, and I just want to ask for your what? Your patience and your forgiveness for being away for a while. I today want to talk about forgiving yourself. Yeah, and I've forgiven myself for being away from this platform for what? How many weeks now? A month or so. So today I just want to talk about forgiveness. Like I know it's August, the 8th month of the year, and we probably made a lot of mistakes, and we may think we're not redeemable, or we're not able to be forgiven, but I want to encourage us that we can always forgive ourselves and do it and somehow manage to move on with life. Yeah. So yeah, let me where am I starting from? I'm looking for where to start from. Okay. So we probably made mistakes before, and towards ourselves or to other people, and as much as tumesamehewa na watu wengine, we might feel like we are still carrying burdens in our heart, and we we are unable, or we are unable to forgive ourselves, and we just carry that guilt. And I just want to remind you that you can always forgive yourself. You can always try to find peace with yourself, and free yourself from that guilt, because guilt pulls you down. Guilt makes you not do a lot of things in your life, and it makes you avoid people. It makes you just don't want to deal with people who you feel like you wronged at some point. And I want to encourage you to find the courage to forgive yourself, because we are human. We make mistakes. We are born to make mistakes. We can't learn without making mistakes. That's what I'd like to remind you, that we cannot learn without making mistakes. We make mistakes so that we can learn. And I also want to address those who are finding it hard to forgive other people because they made mistakes. They affected them in one way or another. Yes, we acknowledge that you are hurt, or whatever mistake we did towards you affected you in some way or another. And please find it in your heart to forgive people and move on with life. This life is not a rehearsal. It's a one-time thing. You live once. You live every day. Somebody was telling me yesterday that we don't live once, we live every day. So I'm beginning to change that word. We live every day. We don't live once, we live every day. And kifo is assured, death is assured. And I like you to let go of those heavy weights you're carrying, because zitakuhinda kufanya vitu zingine. Just let go of those things that are hurting you, those things that you've failed to forgive yourself or move on from. A bit those things you're doing people don't know, those things that you're doing towards people that once you see them you feel like, oh, I'm the one who put them in this situation. Or ah just forgive yourself. It's life. You make mistakes, and we have to move on, because let me assure you, once you die today, people still move on in their life, because life has to continue. So find it in your heart to forgive yourself, and be kind enough to yourself. Give yourself grace, because this world is already harsh, and life is already harsh towards us, and we have to give ourselves grace, because if people are not giving us grace, then we have to give it to ourselves. Because I tend to think that we're already in a hard situation, from the government, from everything that we are going through life. It's already hard on us, because there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of difficulty, there's a lot of lack, there's a lot of cries, there's a lot of suffering. And the least you could do, you could give, just give yourself grace, because grace, and that the need to be the will to carry yourself as you are, and accept whatever you've done wrong, and forgive yourself. That's the least you could do, because people, let me assure you that people will not give, if people will not give you the grace that you deserve. Give yourself grace, because you're growing, you're learning every day. Because I want to think that when we were growing up, we were not, no, nobody gave us a manual that this is what you're supposed to do, this is not what you're not supposed to do. Most of us, I believe, we've learned life from our own experiences, and some of us are doing fairly well, because we have people who help us, or people who have gone ahead of us. We can see, we learn from what they have gone through, and what they have done with their lives. And some of us don't have those people. We just learn from our mistakes. So it's up to you to give us grace, okay, it's up to you to give yourself grace and give others grace, because the world is already tough for some of us, and it's so bad that you come and add a little hardship on the already hard life. So if you're there and you're not giving yourself grace, and you're not giving other people grace, learn to give people grace, because life is already hard. You don't have to come and add more burden to people. People are suffering. People are trying to heal traumas, because I think I was reading a book that was saying that uh, trauma does not fade away on itself, because it comes away in different aspects. Like, we could be speaking, or we could be having a talk, then somebody says something, or somebody does something, mentions something, or somebody say we touch something, or somebody touches us something, or somebody just tells us a memory, and our trauma kicks in, because we trauma does not know how to leave us. It always leaves scars within us. So each time somebody mentions a thing that triggers that trauma, it comes back. So it's up to us to start giving ourselves grace, because we are trying to unlearn and learn a lot. And for us to learn and unlearn, we need to give ourselves grace, because I tend to think we as human, we go through a lot, we learn. Tukimaliza hii tunapata ingine inatungoja. We will never be perfect, and accept that we're born with, some of us were born with we are born in special ways. Like, there are things that we cannot change, and that's that. And we keep on giving grace to each other, to ourselves, because we know one day these things will change and we will get better, because we all have those things, shortcomings, that mtu akisikia tunasema kai. You see, those things that we usually shun away from, that those battles you're on fighting on our own, those are the things that you should give yourself more grace to go through them, because life is already tough. And I want to tell you that forgive yourself, learn to give yourself grace, because no one in this earth will give you grace that you deserve apart from you. Have a blessed day. Bye.